Now the highlight of the week, as I promised at the beginning, we're joined by Northamptonshire Head Coach Darren Lehmann, who needs no introduction, so I'll give him a long one anyway. He's won 2 Ashes, the County Championship with Yorkshire in 2001, the 2015 World Cup, the IPL, the Big Bash and the Sheffield Shield. He's now been appointed Head Coach of Northamptonshire on a 2-year contract. So, Buff, many thanks for your time. Why Northamptonshire, and is there room in your trophy cabinet?
Thanks for having me, you two. First and foremost, the timing was right, to be perfectly honest. I'd spoken to some other counties previously in the previous few years to get over there and coach the county side. It just hadn't worked out the right way, and this one did. The right time. I've been working with ABC commentating during the Test summer, and I couldn't really get over here for the whole time, but Northamptonshire made it work where it's a sort of 7 month. You get here just before the season. I've been here for a month now and working with the lads in pre-season, getting to know them, and then stay until the end. So it just worked out well. The timing was great. The clubs and the previous clubs that were keen to get me there, they've been fantastic as well. So it just worked out well this time.
And both you've been very successful, like Matt has mentioned, everywhere you've gone. Just talk about your sort of way of thinking as a coach, because as a player, very free spirited player. I think I would argue that you're very very similar to sort of Brendan McCullum Bazball, but I'm gonna say this with an element of but you seem to have you play a bit smarter cricket. Where the Bazball era, I mean, it doesn't seem to play the smartness of cricket at times. When you've gone into environments, it seems as though everybody's going to have a great time. Everybody's going to love playing for me. But we actually have an idea of what we're trying to do. Will just take us into the way you think about the game of cricket.
Yeah, you probably hit it on the head there, Harmy. We're just trying to play. We want to entertain people. There's no doubt about that, because that's what we're in the job to do. There's no problems, and we'll certainly play. You know me better than most, Harmy. We'll play a positive brand to try and get results each and every game. That's what we're trying to do. But be a little bit more consistent with the approach and not Bazball. I mean, I love watching Bazball on flat wickets. I think it's a perfect way to go. And if we get a flat wicket in county cricket, we will certainly play quite aggressively. But as soon as the wicket does anything, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work because it seems too much and it's too hard just to go gun ho all the time. So you've got to play or oscillate between all of them, if you like. Sometimes you've got to play good old fashioned, backs against the wall and just play defence, because that happens on some wickets, as you know, in England. So, I mean, I'm all for entertainment because I think that's what people want. But I'm also, you want good, hard 4 or 5 day cricket. What's the point in finishing in 2 days when you're slogging it and getting out? I mean, it's all well and good on flat wickets, and it does work, Harmy. I think you've seen that, and you've probably said that, actually. You boys have said that on the show, that on flat wickets it works, but if the wicket does anything, it's
Yeah.
Back to Northamptonshire. I've copped a bit of flack over the years. I think I christened them a group of wannabes, has-beens, the unloved, the old, the young, the underappreciated. It's an eclectic bunch, or has been over the years. They just seems to have been sort of thrown together. You've spent a month with them now. What do you make of them? Still full of characters?
Yeah, characters. I've really enjoyed them. I'll tell you what we have got. I think we've got a couple of blokes who play for England. What I've seen, just short term. They've got some talent there. I suppose what they're after is some guidance and how we want to play and accept how we want to play. Some days it's not going to work for you, but they've got the full backing from me. They'll have that, as you guys know. I'm pretty forward with the way they want to play and how they want to enjoy themselves and learn. The only way you get better is learning from your mistakes as well. We're going to make mistakes. That's okay. But as long as they make them the right time and learn from them, that'll be the big thing. A different bunch, I suppose you've got that because you do have blokes coming from different counties at various times. But when they represent our county now, I want us to represent our county as a whole, not from where they came from, who they're playing for. So that's a big thing for us, and embracing the past, with our past players and making sure they're learning a lot about themselves collectively and individually. and then hoping and praying that they actually leave us in a better state. We want to make sure they're better people on and off the field, because cricketers these days, it's a tough sport mentally and physically. I get that, but also, there's so much goes on behind the scenes. I want to make sure they're okay as people. That's probably the biggest thing for me, lads.
And obviously you mentioned some young players that potentially could play for England, but Northampton have produced players that have gone on to play for England. 3 I can think of in the recent past who possibly didn't play for Northampton while playing for England, but they came from the system. Ben Duckett, Ollie Stone, I think David Willey's now back. Actually, David Willey's an interesting one because he's going to play in a PSL. But you've said you'd be interested in playing some 4-day cricket, and that's important if you've got a leader who has played for England, who's trying to establish authority on the group. He's there quite regular and showing by example. And I think both in county cricket in the last sort of couple of years, the teams that have struggled have not had great leadership from a captaincy point of view, and not been successful with overseas players. Charles is not a bad overseas player to come into what is a younger group of Northampton players.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Hummy. I mean, the captaincy role, obviously we've got a mixture of leaders because of the 100 and the PSL and et cetera, et cetera. That's okay, as long as we're all going in the one direction. The pleasing thing for someone like Dave Willey, for me, is the fact he's training red ball at the moment. He's going to play PSL, but he knows that we need his bowling to be smicko with the left arm swing, and that helps our batters get better facing that. And when he's batting, if he plays later on the year for us in red ball, he needs to be ready. So he's not training for PSL at the moment. He's training for red ball and leading from the front, which is really good. Then you've got Proctor, who's the same with our 4-ball, and then McManus with the white ball. So it's a bit of a mixture of captains, but I don't mind it. It's actually quite good because each captain's actually helping the other captain out and leading from the front. So I'm pleased with that. And you're right, we've got some good young players. I mean, I've been very impressed with James Sales.
Yeah.
I think he can play, mate. I think he's like Kane Williamson.
I like him. Yeah, I like him.
If I've seen him, he's gone away to Australia this year. I've seen him come back. And I wouldn't be surprised if he plays for England. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets on Ashes tour if he has a good summer. Obviously, you've got to make runs. Although you don't these days, they just pick you anyway, don't they? You don't have to do it.
To be face bits. You're all right. You've got a chance.
If you bowl 140, you're in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. And if you bat and look okay, you're in as well. So you might not have to make any. Anyway.
Yeah, well, you don't get a game if you make 140, I tell you that. You've got a good chance if you make 40.
I shouldn't say that because I'm trying to help these blokes play cricket for England, dare I say it. So, but this James Sales, he actually looks like Kane Williamson. I think he's that good a player. I think he's, if he turns out half as good, you're going to be pretty happy with him. And then Saif Zab is a ripper. He's got some natural talent in the white ball format, but hopefully that develops from a 4-day point of view. And we've got a couple of tall quicks, which you like, Army Scrimshaw. Those guys got some pace and bounce. So there's a bit to work with. Yeah, they're exciting times.
I was surprised Scrimshaw left. Sorry, man. I was surprised Scrimshaw left and moved county. But I think sometimes as a bowler, you might need a change of scenery to get away from some bad luck. You have not got to worry one bit, Buff, about saying anything on this show that's going to sort of cause harm or offence, because I do it most weeks. No, I would say most half an hours. So I'm very, very good at upsetting anybody that's in charge with the England cricket team at the minute, and the biggest one's my best mate. So, but no, I mean, you've got no worries there at all. So from that point of view, it's fine. Going on to that, Ashes 6 months down the line. I know it seems a long way away, but it's not. Where do you see both sides at the moment?
Well, I see. I don't think England will lose a test match or a game in England this summer because they play very well at home and they make flat wickets for their team. So I can't see, which is a bit strange, really, because I think England always had seaming swinging tracks and they were so dominant on it. It's a little bit weird way to play, but they get results. And then Australia will get ready for the summer, as you'd imagine. Our wickets had a bit more in them, Harmony, this year. They had a bit more pace and bounce. So if it does anything, Bazball won't work. That's just what'll happen. So they won't make enough runs, but they might. They might cause a scare or two with the ball if they got some, blokes who can put it in the right areas at decent wheels, as you know. So I still think Australia will win. I think England might win a Test match, Harmy. They haven't won one for 15 years in Australia, but they actually might win one. There you go. So I'll go 3-1. But in England, I think they'll dominate this summer. India are a good cricket team, but I think if England get it right and get selection right and playing, I would rather see them playing traditional English wickets that actually seam and swing a bit.
Talking of wickets, when Yuzvendra Chahal arrives, are you going to blow dry one side of the square for him, or can he take wickets on anything?
Why wouldn't we? We'd be stupid not to, wouldn't we? Well, I mean, it's going to turn.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. If you go to India, it spins square. And the way the summer's heading up, we won't have to do anything. It's going to be turning square. There's actually dry parts of the ground already. So for me, I'm actually going, they'll probably turn. The wickets will turn, but that's okay. That's a good learning curve for people. I don't think that's a big thing. And the education for child to give our youngsters, that's a positive thing for English cricket, I reckon.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, all this talk when you get to the last 2 games of the season and Somerset have got a turner, or Essex have got a turner, it's like then you go and play on pitches like Hyderabad did when we first landed there, and it's like this is how you have to play. Nobody said you played at Yorkshire for a lot of years, and I mean I once turned up at Scarborough. I mean it was bare either end, and I mean you could have grown tomatoes in the middle of it. I mean, and you had Gough, Hoggard, I think Silverwood, and they all knew how to ball halfway down the wicket, and it was lightningly quick, which was great for me. But I think if you've got home advantage, you use home advantage. Getting on to something we've got home advantage on because we're the only country that plays it. The 100, you had an experience with the Superchargers. I'm not a big fan of the thing until it goes to T20 competitions. What was your experience like? And now it's been sold. Do you think the best thing for it to be, once the Indian franchise owners get their head and their feet under the table, to get it back to T20 as quick as we can?
Yeah, I'm a bit pro the 100, which I shouldn't say that being coach of Northamptonshire, right? That's probably a taboo subject, but I actually liked it. I like the concept. It brought a huge amount of money into the game. I think it will help the smaller counties survive and their longevity in the game will work then. I agree with you. It should be back to T20.
Yeah.
Indian owners will change that pretty quick, mate. The next TV rights deal will change, I'm sure. So then you'll have a premium. You'll almost have 2 premium competitions if you can get the Blast, which has been excellent for all counties. And then you might have overseas. I can see a stage where the Blast becomes just as important because your overseas could come and live in England for 2 months, 2.5 months, and not move and actually play Blast and 100. I think that'd be a real flip it for English cricket. So I think it's a positive, both there. I know some people have disagreed with the 100 concept, but I think
it's a format for me.
I think we have to. Yeah,
it's a format for me. The only problem I've got is the format. I want the best playing against the best, big crowds, bringing people in. No problem with that. Me and Manners haven't got a problem with that. We play a competition for 5 weeks of the year that nobody else understands. And I think T20, the more you play, the better you become. So all the leagues around the world, players get better. Ours just keep forgetting how to play it by the time it comes around again.
I don't disagree with that either, Harmy, but the people that brought the 100 as such, the TV rights, they wanted something different, didn't they?
Yeah.
So that's why the TV money came in, and now you look at it and you go, well, they've actually done the right thing. In terms of the format will go back. There's no doubt it'll go back. If anyone says it's not, well, they're kidding themselves. They'll go back to T20. The problem I have is making sure we've got the right amount of 4-day cricket in there and how we play that and mix and match a little bit. With the 100, you could even have more overseas if you like, and keep the county system alive throughout that, so members get to it. Because it's a members' game, isn't it? I know it's TV driven, but members want to watch their team play, and counties, our members want to watch our best players play where they possibly can. So I think you've got to be careful with that. But in terms of the money brought in the game, it's fantastic, as long as they use it right. Now,
yeah,
look after grassroots and making sure they're spending their money in the right places.
Well, can I finish with a little bit of myth busting? I want you to tell me if this is a true story or not. Ashes 2002, coming towards the end, England losing. Steve Harmison walks out to bat. Darren Lehmann's at short leg. Harmison's facing Brett Lee, and Lehmann says, "Just back away, Harmy. It's no time to be a hero. Just let him hit the stumps." And everyone falls about laughing. True or false?
That was after Tudor got hit.
That was a bad hit, wasn't it, Harmy?
Oh.
That was a bad hit. And seriously, man, that was as fast a spell as I saw Brett Lee bowl, and there was no need to get hit. I mean, it was almost seriously, mate. I would have been backing away, man. Seriously, I would have been myself. He was rapid. So there's no bravery for anyone there. Anyone think there's a facing fast ball? I tell you, when Harmy got it right, he was as scary as the most of them. Manners. He scared me enough, so don't worry about it. I think people that say that they like fast bowling, they're only lying, because when people bowl over 140, 145 clicks, it's not much fun.
No,
it's proper hard work, and it's nerve-wracking. So I remember Alex Tudor got hit really hard in that Test series. He retired hurt, didn't he? He was gone. You were next in, and it was literally, mate, seriously, do not get hit.
Yeah.
You know, you got kids, and I remember when Shoaib Akhtar was bowling to me in my final years, he was running into bowl, and I was going, wife and 4 kids, wife and 4 kids, wife and 4 kids, don't get hurt, get out.